Guys, so today we are going to put the trigger 6-shooter kit on the Jeep, so I can work my lights and stuff outside the Jeep if I need to. Also, you know, have that convenience of just being able to do strobe or dim the light down or any of that stuff. I'll kind of go over what the 6-shooter is here in a minute. But as you notice, I've already got the ditch lights on, and I've also got this light bar on. I went with the 6-shooter just for the fact that I'll probably be adding things in the future. Just don't know quite yet, but I figured it was just best to go with the best thing out there and then add to it later. So let's get right into it and go from there. Okay, so this is the 6-shooter, trigger 6-shooter. This little thing is pretty awesome. Of course, you see that you can work it from your Apple phone or your Android phone. It's got strobe. You can dim it. You can change your lights. You can change the names of the lights or the equipment that you have hooked up to this thing. I haven't actually opened it up yet. But I mean, as you see, you know, it's waterproof, so you can put it anywhere under the hood if you're one of those people that like to get down and in the creeks and stuff like that, like I do. Bluetooth control, so I can take my phone and I can actually control it from my phone. And then that's only if you hardwire it into your panel, which is this. You can just use the batteries if you'd like to do it just from the switches, but I'll probably end up just doing the hardwire so I can actually control it from my phone and be able to change the backlights on these. Other than that, it's a pretty simple little gadget. The technology in this thing is pretty awesome. But let's just go ahead and open this thing up and see what we got. So it gives you a little bit of work, a little paperwork. Of course, you should read this if you don't really know much about these things. It shows you how to set it up on your phone and everything like that. Comes with the batteries for the remote, which is right here, and some adapters, some wire things, and then of course your little your stickers for what you're using the gauges or using the 6-shooter for. So everything's right there, and then this will be the switch. Pretty awesome. At this moment, like I said, I don't know exactly what else I'm going to put on there. I know I'm going to probably end up with a rooftop tent at some point, and I will, you know, have lights and stuff around it, or lights on the inside, and I may just want to hook it to this system. So that's the switch setup. This is the actual main brain, I call it, what makes the magic happen. So let's kind of get this cardboard out of the way and see what we got up under here. Lots of wire. Comes with everything you need. This is going to be, I got to figure out where I'm going to put this guy. Not real sure quite yet, because they don't make a bracket for the TJs. Excuse me. And of course, this is your hot wire, your ground wire. Comes with a 100 amp fuse in there, and then this right here will go to an accessory fuse, so it'll come on when your ignition comes on. So yeah, pretty much. I mean, this little guy is kind of heavy too. I mean, it's not heavy, but you can tell that it's well built. It's well sealed. These are the little antennas for being able to, I guess, connect to it, Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. You've got your fuses up there, and Each fuse has its own amperage. Then these are push buttons, so I guess you set it up. I'm gonna have to read through the book to see exactly what I'm gonna have to do to get this thing rolling. All right, guys, so today we're gonna do a little bit of work to the Jeep. We're gonna go ahead and hook these lights up. I've got some triple beam aux beam lights here, and I've also got this light bar. I didn't do a video on installing this stuff. It's pretty simple. All right, so I'm going ahead and first thing you got to do, let's just say this, first thing you got to do is you got to take this cover off, because you need to be able to run your wire up under through here, and then of course these got to be connected to each other. I know y'all are probably laughing at me because I've got red and yellow, but that's what I have here at the house, and I'm not going to buy a black wire just to run for a negative, so I use my yellow wire because I got plenty of it down there. But yeah, so right now I am just going ahead and shrink wrapping, heat shrinking the wires together to run it over to that light right there. There's my dogs. Anyway, and I'm going ahead and just zip tying these wires to the back side of the windshield wiper bracket, windshield wiper motor bracket, just so they don't get in the way of this here, because that is what turns the windshield wipers. Other than that, you know, you got your screw here, you got a screw here, and then there's a screw right there, and then another one on the other side, and then two screws, one here and one on that other side, that you got to take off to pull this cover off. Not very hard. You may have a seal in here that you'll have to pull out, but right now I'm using my propane tank for camping to heat shrink because I can't find my my heat gun. So yeah, that's where we are at the moment. I'm just gonna kind of sit you down and let you watch if you want. Connect the yellow and red to these wires here. Okay. Everyone say hi to Blade. He just decided to get up here on the Jeep with me and bother me. So yeah, this is Blade. Blade, say hey. Say hey, buddy. Yeah, see. I know that's not a good idea, but that's all I got right now, so hate comments are welcome. Alright, so at this point I'm gonna tape all this up and try to figure out where I'm gonna run the wire down in this valley. I think my best bet is gonna be trying to figure out how to get past this with the wire. I think it'll work, but that's where we are, and that's what we're gonna try to do. So let me grab some tape and tape this up. All right, so at this point we are removing this down so I can run this wire around them, and so it'll be able to connect to the actual Trigger 6 module. So all I'm pretty much doing is I move that down see it down in there. But I pushed it down in there, and then I'm gonna leave my excess wire up here, zip tie it together, of course, and leave it up here in the valley, and then run the other one just like that down in there real quick. So is when you're running this wire in this valley, what I see to be the best way to do it is take this, if you're running to this side, and run it into this channel where that bolts in, so that'll keep the wire away from the actual motor head that's down in there. And then of course just zip tie all that excess on the other side of the motor itself, and then I'll be able to connect that right there and zip tie it down so it's clean, and that keeps the wire out away from the motor. And then I'll zip tie all that stuff down here in just a few moments. I'm gonna go ahead and heat shrink these, get those on there, and then we'll go back to the Trigger 6 module and get it connected to the battery and to the accessory, and then we'll try to fire it up.